That's good enough. Well, I think it should be obvious the first thing we're going to fix on Buck. Make Buck start again. Now, there's a few other things I want to cover in this video, but it just depends on how fixing him cranking over goes, because Travis didn't have time to mess with him, so, you know, at best case scenario, it should be just a new starter, which I already have a few of them, but it could be, you know, something else like the ignition or some electrical gremlin and take a little longer. Ah, mosquito, sorry. Anyways, now that I pushed him in and out of the wind, I just kicked the cherry picker. Oh, and by the way, I did clean up some after the montage, just there's still quite a bit of clutter in here. Anyways, let's go over the plan. Okay, as I said, I'm going to jack up Buck, change his starter. We'll grab this light so we can see what we're doing, which is down there. And then I want to put a fan on Buck, because you can see, I don't know if you can tell from the initial video when I brought him home, there is no mechanical fan and there is no electrical fan. So there's no fan at all on Buck. And we need a fan to stay cool. In fact, I don't even think this is the right radiator. It's narrower than the one I have, because from the donor truck I actually have a newish looking pump, mechanical clutch fan, and a nice full-size radiator with shroud. The lower half's in the truck still. I gotta pull that out later. But so the plan is to put all this in the truck. For now, we're just going to do this because I don't want to mess with the lower shroud, because my new parts truck is blocking the front of the donor truck, and I kind of need Buck to pull the parts truck. I mean, I could use the Silverado, I guess. I just thought of that. But anyways, moving on. So next, I would like to... Well, Travis said he thinks the valves need lashed, so we're going to pull the valve covers, but there's a slight issue with the valve covers. See, Travis's exhaust, I don't know if you can see this too good, let me see, is on top of the valve covers. I don't think we're going to be able to get them off without pulling the headers. So we'll have to pull the exhaust off, pull the valve covers off, and then check the lash in the valves. And set this light down. There are a few different methods for lashing valves. You can do it running, and obviously Buck isn't running, so we're not... I don't want to do it that way. I prefer to do the non-running method. Actually, my favorite method is the 90-degree method, but we need a marked balancer for that. 360 degrees. Buck does not have that. So the other way is, I know I'm going to get this wrong. I should have wrote it down. Is it intake open, exhaust close, or open? I get the order of those wrong. From memory, when I actually do it, I'll get it right. But that's the method where you pretty much bump it over, and we kind of need a starter to bump Buck over. So I picked up one of these because, like I said, my preferred method is 90 degree, and usually you have a buddy help you bump, but this is a buddyless bumper. We'll just hook it up. If you can see the part number here. Ooh, getting glare. The Actron remote starter CP. You get the rest. So we can bump them over ourselves. Get this thing lashed, cooling itself, cranking itself, and hopefully fired up. So there's the plan. There's something else I wanted to point out. Oh, I still got to go over the tune and stuff. I mean, I don't know anything really about this carburetor. I just put the bag over to keep the water out. So, I mean, I have no idea what the tune is in the carburetor. And I just want to say I'm not going to, pick on Travis too much about the tune, because he's not really a carburetor guy. So, carburetor, timing, we need to go through all that before we do anything really radical with Buck. And I want to change out this single plane intake. But that's a future video. We got enough on our plate for this video. Oh, and one more thing. Come on, Travis. I am going to pick you on here for this. I think you could have used more than a single zip tie. Let's get to work. Pretty sure this battery's dead. Am I going the right way? Yeah. Okay, I don't know what to do with this battery, but it just feels like it's tightening up or something, so it's definitely... I'm replacing the battery anyway, so... There it goes. Messed up or whatever, I don't know. Well, that's just a nut and a long bolt. Just a nut and a long bolt. Buck still has his exhaust, it looks like, but we won't be using that. Interesting. Okay, confession time. I have never changed a starter on a manual transmission, so I don't know what that is. I'm hoping I can somehow back the starter and feed it through over there, or maybe over here. I think I should be able to at least pull it through the top somehow, but nope. Here goes. Nope, that socket's not going to work. Ugh, I keep getting rust in my eyes. Beater life, yo. It's not the socket. You can see right there. It's whatever this thing is. So, manual life, I guess. Oh, just barely. Oh, I'm going to need a helper wrench. For a second there, I didn't think the wrench was even going to fit. I was like, if this turns into a 20-minute video on taking a starter off, I probably need to quit YouTube. Either position, I can't get the helper wrench on there, so I am not sure what I'm going to do. I might have to pull this thingy out, but that does not look like a fun job. You can see the bolts for those. So, it's pretty much official. I hate manuals. Yep. At least on a small box Chevy and a truck. Okay, I just remembered I have these crow feet wrench things. You put a extension in, as you can see, but it's not getting a good engagement. I can't get it, and even if it does, there's no room for it to turn. Like over here on this one. It's going down good, and I got plenty of room for it to rotate, which I don't need it on that one. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to take one of these 12-point wrenches, because there's enough room just for it to barely turn, and I'm going to have to cut it down about right to my thumb, and we'll weld like a socket or an extension on there and make our own tool. I mean, they sell crow feet close-in like this, but I don't have time. I don't want to hold up this video, with shipping how it is these days, a week or so just to wait on a dang wrench or run around 20 different stores, because anytime I need anything, they never have it in stock. So I'm going to go grab a bite to eat for dinner, and then I guess we will make this maybe a 20-minute video on changing a freaking starter. Break time's over. Let's see if we can get that started off tonight. It's gotten a little bit later. You can see it's getting dark. But after dinner, I went ahead and did a quick Google, and surprisingly, I couldn't find hardly any information about moving a starter with the manual transmission, the slave cylinder, I guess that's what that's called right there. And I'm really, really surprised I couldn't find any videos and such. So we're just going to, wing it and see if we can figure it out. I made a quick trip out to the pole barn, and I grabbed a few wrenches, older, rustier sacrificial wrenches that I have out there. I guess, when I was younger, I was more of a tool snob. I'm not so much these days, but most of my tools are Craftsman. Not that that does any good, because there's no more Sears by me. But I got all these old rusty tools that were some of my dad's and so on. Other cheap kits. So I grabbed some, and, you can see this one looks maybe a little thicker. So I might have to grind that down. I think this one might be about the same, and it doesn't have that bend in it like these ones do. So it's a straight wrench. I mean, it's curved, but it's straight in the right area. I was gonna have to bend this one, so I think we're gonna just cut this off. I got a 3/8 drive socket, narrow tip, so I can just put it on there. Stay. I can just weld it right on there, and we'll call it good. I mean, of course, I'm gonna grind it down real quick and get the chrome off, but let's get to it. Not bad. Not the best welds ever. Come on, focus. I'll let her cool a little bit and we'll cut her down. I wanted to leave it long so I could clamp it easier. And we'll see if she works. She's a little crooked. I think it'll be fine. I mean, it's just, you know, extension's got a little bit of wobble, so we'll be good. Moment of truth. Let's see if the hard work paid off. Bam, right layer. Well, it's not off yet, so give me a sec here. Where's the breaker bar? Okay. Oh, she's on there. Boom. Oh, success. I don't want to break that line. Switch to the ratchet. I don't know why I switched to the ratchet. I got to turn the freaking ratchet like a wrench. Oh, it's getting late. Ah, junk keeps falling on my face. I'm so glad I had my tetanus shot last summer. Boom. Okay, one down, one to go. Now for the easy part. Oh, that was a bad idea. Okay, forget that. And I guess that impact wasn't worth the $30. Well, that sucker's on there. That's why I'm pretty sure. Well, not. I don't want to say it. I'm gonna freaking jinx myself. But hopefully it's the starter because it looks like it's been on here a million years. Now it's gonna turn. That bolt's gonna fall. Oh, this is one of those heavy suckers too, man. It's gonna suck. What am I doing? I can use the ratchet on this one. Well, technically I could use the impact now, but we already got the ratchet out. That's gonna be a lot easier. I'm starting to see the appeal of some of these impacts, or electric tools. Well, that's maybe why I didn't take it off. I had to go in the wrong way. Gotta be smarter than the tool. There we go. Oh my god, right in my eye. Okay, let's do this one-eyed, because I got a chunk of rust in the one eye. Out. Here's the second bolt. Can I get the angle? Come on, baby. Okay, we're going for the exhaust position. Well, you can get it. That's no big deal, right there. She's out. I got some rust to get out of my eyes. Be right back. The starter is finally out, and so is the rust out of my eyes. Actually, I should be wearing a face shield when I'm working on Buck because he's so dang crusty, but it is freaking hot. I mean, the humidity is just, it's just hanging tonight. I thought it was going to cool down, but it is sticky. Anyways, also, I should be wearing gloves because, I mean, that was a mistake. When I had to go in and wash all the grease and grunge off my hands, you know, the dirt and grease and rust, before I could start picking the rust out of my eyes. So, anyways, let's get to the starter. As you can see, it is crusty. So, I mean, I'm hopeful this is the problem and I didn't just change it for nothing. But there's another thing I noticed here when I was looking it over real quick. You can see that this mount, you know, the casting is busted here. So I don't know if that was, you know, causing it to, you know, distort, or, I mean, I've had a similar issue where I broke a mount before and the starter would stop working. So I don't know. We'll see. Another thing I want to point out real quick before I forget, I almost forgot, is not all small block Chevy starters have the same bolt patterns. You can see right here, this is a cross. Sometimes there'll be right here a straight line. This is more of, you know, staggered or whatever you want to call it. Then over here we have the bolts. These are the bolts that were on Buck. You can see they are so crusty. They've been on there for a while. These are the bolts that came off the Vortec, the donor Vortec engine. I mean, they're greasy, but, you know, I can still see the knurling right there, which, you know, helps, you know, align the starter, because, you know, you need that knurling on the bolts. I mean, here's some other starter bolts that are different, you know, one short and one long, but if you look at Buck's, you can't even barely see the knurling because it's so crusty and rusty. So I either have to use those bolts or wire wheel these ones up and clean them and, you know, grease them, you know, oil them up before I put them back on so they don't rust right back up. As far as the starter, as I mentioned earlier, I already got a few, because normally I don't replace these starters. Normally I replace working starters with mini starters. So right over here in my cabinet, I already have a few. But as you can see right here, that one's the wrong bolt pattern. They're straight. Same with that one right there. Well, this one, it's too dark. We'll pull it out. It looks like we're good here. Wait, let's pull it back up on the bench. Bam, right there. No busted mount. That one looks more. No, it's on this side. This is the one right here, the broke. Yeah, so we're good. And I know this starter works. Those starters work. That starter works because I took them off for working, you know, they're working on a vehicle, and I replaced them with a mini starter. And I may do that someday with Buck, but Buck is a big heavy truck. He's not a race truck. He's just going to be a cruiser. He doesn't need to shave 10 pounds for $100+. We'll just, you know, this is good enough. So I'm gonna clean this sucker up a little bit, you know, figure out which bolts I'm gonna use, and we will get this starter on Buck and cranking tonight. Hopefully. I probably just jinxed myself. Bam! Clean starter and oily bolts. Well, you can't eat off it, but, you know, clean enough. I got most of the grunge off. As far as the bolts, I just wire wheeled them up real quick. I figured it better to have a spare set, and if I didn't do it now, I would never do it. Just throw them out. Slap some used oil on them, and they're good to go, ready to be installed. Yuck. Okay, before we put the starter back up there, we got to clean some of this off. Good enough. I got where the starter area, at least for now. We'll get the other side later. I have a feeling we're going to be spending a lot of time under Buck. Yuck. There we go. I think I got the camera set up where you guys can see. Got some lights, camera, action. Pretty good. This thing. Oh, these things are freaking heavy. All this stuff. Feed it up how it came out. Get in there, you son of a... Don't break that line. Don't break that line. A little more. Come on. Oh, come on. You were in there. Oh, there we go. in the hole, in the hole. Just need a bolt. FYI, never do this with your head under the starter. Don't ask. I'm actually glad the slave cylinder is here right now. Whew, take a break. Other than I hope I don't break this line. I don't want to do that. This is why I put mini starters on. Oh, are we at 20 minutes yet? I am so going to edit the crap out of this. Do not fall on me. Damn you, impact gun. Hate your truck. There we go. Almost made a critical mistake. We need to finagle this other bolt in there first. Oh, come on. Start, you son of a bolt. That was the bolt we were supposed to put in first. I'm going to run that one up. Screw this impact. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. I've got to use the special tool. Can you guys even see? How about there? She's tight. Just gotta hook up the wires. And by the way, I brought my leads down here so I can do my jump thing. I don't know if you can see this, but this terminal is nasty. So I gotta at least clean that up. I mean, I've never seen one of these rust that like that. Be right back. Better? I have never seen a battery cable that rusty. I mean, he probably needs a better cable. A lot of people don't realize cables go bad. I mean, they have a, you know, like, I don't want to say shelf life, or, you know, they just don't last forever. Come on. I pulled the cable down, now I can't get it back up. I don't know what a lock washer is, but at this point, I don't care, because I'm probably going to have to replace this cable. I'm tired of grease, mud, and bugs. Okay, now we can hook up the things. The bump switch. Oh my god, those things are tight. Look, those things freaking... they squeeze hard. Ow! I just freaking bent a fingernail. I sound like a woman. We got one down. This is a bad design. Oh, they're on. Finally. I was going to say something cool, but I can't remember what I was going to say now. I just don't care. World's longest starter change ever. Okay, I would say I got cleaned up a little. Now we can move on to the next issue. And I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say, the taste of success, you know, and dirt and grease and rust. I mean, it would have been cool if I remembered there underneath the car, but I ruined it now. So anyways, let's get on to this. You can hear this humming over here. I got the charger on full jump, but you can see there's nothing there. I'm playing with the cables. I've tightened the battery up. We get no spark. Nothing anywhere. I'm going to be so mad if I just change the battery. Sorry, change the starter and it's the battery. So I forgot a battery that's okay-ish over here. I've been charging up over there. You can see it right there. And I guess I'm swapping that in now because I want to hear this thing crank if at all possible tonight. I mean, it's still going to be a bad cable or something else, but I mean, I tried my little bump switch and I tried the key, nothing. It's just, it's dead. So, give me a minute, change the battery. It's late. It's still hot, humid. I'm tired, sweaty, dirty. I need a shower. But I got the other battery in. I even got rid of the bolt nut spacer. We found an actual battery style bolt, whatever you want to call it. Still got the kind of janky positive going on, but you know, this is what we got right here. Well, the pulleys were moving a minute ago. You have to trust me, but you could, I know you can hear that starter clicking. This battery is no good either, but that battery is completely gone. 100% core, that's it. I could at least jump this battery, and I do have a good battery. It's just in my truck, my daily truck at the moment. So, but you know, we'll jump Buck around for now. I got a jump box. Later, we'll pick up a new battery, or I'll swap another battery into them. I've been meaning to buy another battery. Just, you know, batteries, they get older and expire, and I got lots of projects, so it's like I just bumped this. Actually, my truck battery right over there died last fall, or you know, December-ish, I want to say, and I swapped in the battery for the vet in the truck out there that you cannot see because it is freaking dark. I don't know if that starter is good or bad. I do know the one we just spent an eternity putting in Buck is good. I mean, that is the longest starter install I've ever done. The most issues. I am glad it's done. I don't care if this other starter works. It's not going back in. That's how it's staying for I hope forever. Anyways, I think that's it. I'm calling it. We're done tonight. Tomorrow I'll pick up the other things. Like I said, I want to try and get those other two things done before this video is over. I'm pretty sure we're not at 20 minutes for a battery. Sorry, for a starter change. When all we need is a battery change. But we're probably getting close. Last video of the night, I promise. I pushed Buck out, swept up the greasy goo so I wouldn't track it all over the house, walked the dog, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta know. I gotta know, and I think this might work. So I got my charger and I hooked it up to Buck's starter, and I was getting nothing playing with it. Now, I took that let me flip this around. One sec. I took that I can't even talk, I'm tired, sorry. I took the charger and I touched the ends together, plugged in, and I get no sparks at all. I mean, it makes noise, but no sparks. This little old ancient charger, the ends, you touch the ends together, you get sparks. You hook it up on that starter, I arc it with a screwdriver, it doesn't turn the starter over, but it hums. I do it on this one. We got sparks at least. We got sparks, but no noise out of the starter. So, maybe I'll dig out my old high boost charger. Now, I think this one is freaking kaput. It's not that old, but it's kaput. And maybe we'll try and, with a little more juice tomorrow, but I'm feeling better now. I think the starter is gone. I think, just by chance and dumb luck, my charger's gone. Because, I used it last year on the C4 and it worked. So, it just sat there. The only thing is it's got a freaking bird trapped on it. And I don't know, man. I'm tired. Good night. Time for a late night Bambito's pizza. Just a minute and a half away from a good snack. So I'm inside enjoying my snack because I gotta take something with the pill I took. And it occurred to me, I bet that charger is some kind of smart sensing charger, because everything is these days. And it probably is, sensing that battery is so dead that the charger won't even turn on. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, we're well on our way to a 20-minute starter video. So why not? Let's just check this out and see if this works. I'm going to set the camera down so you can see the needle, and then I'm going to plug it in. Okay. So if the needle jumps, I'm right. Son of a... Well, it looks like I'm testing out that starter tomorrow. And it's a good thing my charger works, I guess. I'm up. I know I said I wasn't going to make any more clips last night, but I had to know. It would have bugged me as I was lying in bed waiting to fall asleep, and it didn't take long just to come out here and hook stuff up and see what we saw. So we now know this starter could be good, and I don't know about this whole method, even though it's a dumb charger. I mean, it only goes to like 8 volts, and every time you flipped it on, it go to 8. And I got another charger out back that will, you know, boost, but I'm not going to bother taking it out. I got to go to town anyway. I'm just going to take this to the parts store. They can hook it up with their tester stuff, and we'll find out for sure. So stay tuned. And by the way, I got new boots. We made it. Last stop. We're at the parts store. I have never wanted one of these tests to fail so bad. So, moment of truth. I'm going to try and film it. They don't look too busy, but I hope that doesn't take too long because I was stupid and I bought milk. I'll set it in the shade and here we go. No good?
It's no good.
Awesome. Good news. It failed. I have never been so happy to have a bad part. No time to waste though. Let's get this milk home.